Presque Isle man has been charged with attempted murder after trying to run over a Caribou police officer yesterday. Caribou police say they attempted to stop 37-year-old Mark Bollier, who was driving a stolen pickup truck, but did not stop. Police say they ended the chase, but Bollier was eventually located a few hours later on Sweden Street in Caribou. We're told Officer Doug Bell attempted to arrest him, who resisted and eventually escaped after an attempt to tase him. Caribou police say while they were chasing Bollier on foot, he stole a UTV and attempted to run over Officer Bell, who then shot Bollier. He escaped, Bollier escaped, but after a search was arrested in Woodland by the Aroostook County Sheriff's Office. He was taken to the Caribou Hospital where he was treated for non-life-threatening injuries. Officer Bell was taken to a hospital where he was treated and released. Officials say Bell has been placed on administrative leave, standard practice in police-involved shootings. The Office of the Attorney General and Maine State Police are both investigating.